welcome, boys, gentlemen, I should say. And this will be our last and most exciting session. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been excited all week. It's fun because in this system, I didn't have a lot of prep work to do. I was telling Jeffrey that because I'm used to like pretty labor intensive prep, I like prepared for, there's like a whole world of stuff that was going to kind of unfold. But we'll try today to kind of tie it up with a nice sense of resolution. Closure, yeah. And yeah, I thought we would start off with something that we haven't done. There's a couple of moves that happen at the end of a session. We forgot to do it last time, or I forgot to tell you that this was a thing. If you have your basic moves sheet up and running, it's on the second page of that file. It's called peripheral moves, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. First of all, there's start of session. Hey, at the start of every session, the GM adds a team to the pool. And guess what? That means you now have 4 teams in the pool because at the end of the scene last time, you finished off with 3. So, and I'm not going to bother resetting it right now because you're kind of in the middle of things. But there's also a move for the end of the session. It says at the end of every session, choose one. Now, we've basically had 2 sessions. One was kind of like the intro session where we talked about how you guys met. And then we've done the second one, which was like exploring, gathering information, and then finally encountering this crazy exoskeleton robotic supervillain. And so at the end of every session, you have to choose one thing. You can, number 1, grow closer to the team. Explain who made you feel welcome. And there's something that says give influence to that character. You know, I think we should just skip over the influence because we're not playing that kind of a game. But clear a condition or mark potential. Now you've both taken some hits. So clearing conditions would be valuable, or marking potential would be valuable. Option number 2 is grow into your own image of yourself. Explain how you see yourself and why, and shift one label up and another one down. Okay, so like you kind of would get +1 to one thing, or and -1 to another, whichever 2 you think. This is to reflect changes in your character, their approach to being a superhero and what that means to them. And then there's option number 3, grow away from the team. Explain why you feel detached and take influence over you away from another character. Because we're not really playing with the influence mechanic, that one doesn't make as much sense for us. But I'm going to let you 2 make that move right now, and we'll see if either of you bumps up. I think Vixen, you advanced last session, right? So you're probably starting your potential track off again, right?
Yeah, I think I just have like one or two. I'm opening up my word my word tracking document as well, where I'm tracking my potential. I think I've got 1. It might be 2.
I have it open here. Let me just check here.
Now, remind me, at what point is it when we mark 5 potential, you said, that we get to?
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the file that I have open in front of me, it does not show any potential marks. So maybe you just...
Yeah, it's not the Google Doc that I was doing it in. It was just...
Oh, I see. Thanks. Yeah. Well, fine. Keep it secret then. All right. Yes, so you mark potential.
What I do?
Fail a roll. That means you get 6 or less. And there are some moves that let you mark potential, but you also mark potential, so you can choose to mark potential at the end of the session. So.
I believe I had a condition finishing out the last one. I believe I was angry, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I have both angry and insecure marked on your sheet, but if you're keeping track of a different file, then. That might be old.
No, that one I was marking on the Google Doc. So I'll probably clear.
Yeah, it says angry and insecure. You're an angry, insecure superhero right now.
That's kind of her thing.
It does kind of sound like that. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna clear insecure though.
Awesome. So you no longer have to do something foolhardy to trust yourself again. And to do that, however, you are growing closer to the team. So you need to explain. Now it says who made you feel welcome, but any description of how you feel closer to your teammate would be appropriate here. How did your connection with the monstrosity help you to overcome your insecurity?
Well, he did show up and save my butt from a whole pile of drones that I clearly was totally useless against. So it was, that was pretty good to know. And then even after taking a pretty wicked hit, he busted down a whole bunch of doors and walls and windows and stuff like a boss. So I'm pretty comfortable having him on my team. Yeah,
so it's not so. Is it more that because he's got your back, your insecurities aren't going to interfere as much anymore? It's not that you're not insecure; it's that you're like, he's got me by back, and that's cool. That's legit. I like it. Monstrosity, what are you going to choose for your end of session?
Well, I definitely have a lot of conditions, but I'm also one guy off of potential right now for.
Yeah. Now, speaking of conditions, and you might want to consider this, there is another way to remove conditions. Take a look at your basic moves. Now, Vixen would have to be the one who does this, and she would be pretty good at it because it's a mundane skill. When you comfort or support someone, roll plus mundane. On a hit, they hear you, they mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you. So it's like, yeah, she gives you another end of session move, so you can kind of double those up. But that's only if she comforts or supports you in some way.
She chooses to do that.
You can also clear condition if you're defending someone or something.
Like if I defend something, that clears condition?
Yeah, which is funny because often you would get a condition, like you would take some kind of damage, you get hurt by defending things, but then you can clear that condition, right? Yeah, that's basically it.
All right. Well, if I'm going to have options for clearing my conditions, getting into play here, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself that last potential.
Now, how did you grow closer?
No moves. No moves.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting, especially for somebody with superpowers. It's dope.
So, how did you grow closer to the team?
Well, it's been a long time since Dante has been a team player, and he was facing off against all these robots, and this one megabot kind of really whooped him, but Vixen stuck around and helped save his butt. So, and that felt pretty good. I think he really feels that Vixen is someone who has his back and that he can trust to have his back in the future.
So I sense this growing trust between you because you've been in the trenches together, so to speak.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so you have both marked, so you've cleared a condition, you've mark potential. If you're going to choose a new move, what are you going to do for?
I believe I am going to give myself coming for you.
Okay. When you mark a condition, why don't you read?
+1 forward against the person you most blame for causing it, which that sounds like a lot of fun to me. So
That it doesn't have a limitation, right? It's just like you have +1 against that person, period.
yeah. And it's the person I most blame for causing it, which is pretty versatile to interpretation.
That's a very gray.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. It gives you a bit of flexibility, and it definitely gives a flavor to your character, right? It's like, I'm gonna get you. There's this like revenge kind of flavor to it. Awesome. All right. So I've already.
Angry, guilty, and insecure, but I'll be finding a way to get rid of it.
Well, why don't we start playing? And we'll see what happens if anything happens to clear those conditions. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Great. So when last we left our heroes, this giant mechanical exosuit robot had pried its way out of this convenience store. It's like a set of just like ripped open the 7-Eleven sign. The decrepit 7-Eleven sign, and like falls to the ground, and you had an exchange with the supervillain known as the Anarch, and I forget exactly what she said, but she said she would kind of deal with you later. That's not over, and then kind of crawled, used her mechanical lens to go over the top of the building, just as the red and blue lights of the Halcyon City PD, HCPD, pulls up. There are 4 cruisers that pull up, and immediately they are taking action to what's the word?
Subdue.
Yeah, to try and anyway, they're opening doors, they're calling out. You hear the click and clatter of weapons, and they're finally one of them over a loudspeaker says, "Freeze!"
How far away are we from them?
Let's say so let's say we have a regular parking lot, maybe a row in front of the 7-Eleven, a row along the street, and then like there's a space in between to drive in between for this parking. I guess there was the gas station. We mentioned that there used to be a gas station there where the awning had been removed. So yeah, it's a little bit bigger than that then. You're around the gas station area, so you're kind of midway between the police, where the police have pulled up, and the convenience store where you just came from. Put your hands in the air, lie down on the ground. No sudden movements.
I'm just taking a peek at my moves. What I've got available. Oh, come on, internet.
Do you need to know what your moves are? Because I have them open.
I'm just wondering about the straight up creep-in, if there's an opportunity for...
Not really. And like, are you talking about trying to get information about the police right now?
No, I'm talking about trying to get away.
So one of the questions you can ask for straight up creep-in is, what is my best way in or out? But the idea is that you're scoping out a place in that situation. So
Right.
you're trying to find the best entrances and exits for a location. That doesn't really apply in this situation. What you might want to do is a basic move, which is assess the situation. And then some of the questions are like, how could we best end this quickly? What here can I use to blank? You can fill in the blank with whatever you like. So, Does that sound like what you're trying to do? You're trying to you're like looking around and.
Yeah, let's see. How could we best end this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna assess the situation.
Or are you trying to figure out a way out of the situation, or are you trying to figure out the police and what they want? I think it's going to be pretty clear what the police want, but
yeah,
what is
I want to find a way out of the situation.
Okay, so roll to assess. It's roll plus superior.
Done.
Are you doing monstrosity?
What's that?
Are you doing anything? Immediately, she's a little bit ahead of you because she kind of did this flipper over top of your shoulder and smashed one of these bots on the ground.
Oh yeah. Do I keep my flow from last time?
I don't think so.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, because of the smash. Because now we had a moment where the Anarch was talking to you. There's just been a couple of beats since then. That means you're no longer in the parkour. All right. What did you roll there, Vixen?
I rolled a 7.
Okay. It's not bad. Last one.
So what here can I use to I guess what here can I use as cover to get away quickly? Did we leave a manhole cover open or anything like that?
It would have been on around here.
Yeah, so the police have pulled up basically where you entered the scene, and so they'd be parked like on top of or in front, between you and the manhole cover. Yeah, they're like up on the sidewalk kind of a thing. So, and you came up straight up from the middle of the street.
You mind if I go?
I'm still answering his question. So you're looking around with your skill set, Vixen. Vertical surfaces are, I mean, it's dangerous because you might be a target for the police if they decided to open fire or something. But vertical surfaces are not a barrier to you, and they would be a barrier to the police. So trying to do that kind of a thing would be probably the quickest and easiest way to escape this situation. You can't necessarily speak for the monstrosity, but he is an unknown quantity.
Well, I would like to do my move, be the monster, to intimidate, kind of like frighten and cow these cops enough to give us a window of escape. Because I think we're both going to try and escape vertically from what it sounds like. So
that would kind of make sense. So be the monster. Just describe. First, you have to do something before you roll the move. So
okay.
So I'm right. And I did this flip and I landed right in front of him. Right. I do this kind of scope out, and I'm just like kind of turned around. I'm like, listen, up is the only way we're gonna get out of here. Do you think there's any way you could buy us some time?
Get down on the ground now.
I give her a little stare and a nod.
Maybe you could take me hostage. I don't know.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take her hostage. We're gonna try to put on a convincing performance here. I grab her and I kind of have like her head, grab her head in my hand, and I give piercing screech, piercing animalistic screech, and I say, if anyone tries any funny business, she's dead.
But you're doing this with your monstrous voice.
Oh, yeah, I'm not using the tone I just used. Guys, if anyone follows, she's dead.
All right, so I think that does count as definitely trying to cow them or intimidate them. Now this is interesting. Roll plus freak. Let's see what happens.
All right. Roll for freak. We got 5 and 2 plus a 3 for freak is 10.
All right, so choose one from the list.
I'm going to go with you frighten others you had not intended to scare.
Okay. I'm sorry, Vixen, but you need to mark afraid. Is afraid already marked?
No, just angry.
Okay. You need to mark afraid. Because the way he is so convincing that there's a moment. You had this moment where you kind of like make eye contact, you're starting to gel as a team, and then all of a sudden he grabs you and he starts yelling about killing you. And so whatever happens after this moment is fine. You can role play it out, but you are terrified.
I realize how completely powerless I am in this, guys. What?
Yeah, and I think that plays into it because you saw him get thrown by a robot through 2 walls, and you saw him take on all of these little drones that you were struggling with. So you have an understanding of how powerful this creature is. So yeah, you have this moment where he's yelling at the cops, and the cops they're hesitating. They're kind of looking over to their sergeant, and he kind of puts a hand up, and you have a moment to act. They're not going to open fire. They're not barking orders at you. What do you do?
So just to be clear, afraid, I'm just trying to get a sense of this. -2 to directly engage and to clear it, I need to run away from something difficult.
Yeah. In particular, this moment, it might be run away from monstrosity because that's what you're afraid of, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of like open to interpretation, but I think that's what would make most sense in the fiction.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I feel like I have 0 power in my position right now.
I would like to super leap onto one of the roofs nearby for our vertical getaway.
That sounds like unleashing your powers.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't. So we got like a lower. So if I recall correctly, you had like there's this 7-Eleven and a parking lot. It seems strange to me. At least all of the 7-Elevens that I know are usually on a corner somewhere. But I think I had these like between 2 buildings. So we're gonna say there's like a low-rise kind of apartment, maybe with an alley in between them. There's the 7-Eleven, and then there's some kind of another, like an old derelict office building beside it. So which one are you going on?
I'm gonna leap on top of the derelict one.
Okay. Well, they're both like boarded up. One is like the low rise that you were both already. Yeah, that's the one that. What is his name? I wrote it down. Well, maybe I didn't. But anyway, you had the fellow that you knew who was not super helpful to you.
LJ.
LJ, yeah, I did have it written down. LJ, addict, homeless, harmless. Yeah, so LJ, he was like kind of resting in front of this low-rise apartment building, and then there's another, like, I don't know, 3-story. It's like an old painted white with the same kind of thing, like boarded up windows and that kind of stuff. It's not a professional building, but like an office building of some sort. There's like a HE and B injury lawyers is an old advertisement that's like been half painted over on the side.
Right. Unleashing powers. Oh boy. 3 and 1 plus a freak of 3 is 7.
Okay. That's not bad. So.
Not great.
Your unleashing powers. So on a hit, you do it. So you do it. Let's say you leap with your superhuman might, and you manage to aim and time your jump well enough to get to like the top story window, so the 3rd floor window. You kind of grab it, and
You're still holding on to me, right?
Yeah, I with the both of us.
That seems to make sense.
Good thing I'm 90 pounds soaking wet.
And you have a choice to make. Yeah, and even if you were a full-size human being, he could probably make this because he's a crazy monster guy. Well, 3 stories is a bit much. This is like pretty amazing. So now you're flying through the air, hurtling through the air. What conditions do you have marked?
I have anxious, guilty, and insecure.
So, you reach the window, and you manage to latch onto one of the boards that's kind of holding onto the, like, boarding the window, but it's boarded on the outside somehow. No, let's say it's boarded on the inside, but you grab it and it snaps, and it's starting to break. You can either kind of release your grip and get another grip and mark the condition afraid, or you can. No, I don't think that makes sense.
What happens when you get all 5 conditions marked again?
You're taken out.
I also wanted to ask.
So yeah, how about this? You hear, like, you grab onto this, you hear a creak on the board. It's not very stable. You can drop to the next floor down and hope to be able to catch on to it, or it will take you some time to clamber up because you have you're holding on to Vixen in one arm and you're kind of latching on here. It's not a very stable situation. You need to decide quickly what you do. Do you drop down to get a more secure, or a gamble at a more secure location, or do you kind of scramble with what you've got? If you scramble, you hear the clicking. Take aim, open fire. You hear the police coordinating their actions down below.
Okay. I want to ask, before I make this decision, clearing insecure, you have to take foolhardy action without talking to your team. I think taking her as hostage might qualify as that.
That totally does qualify. Absolutely.
Okay. So
especially since you marked a condition, I think that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for keeping track of that, because I would not have. That's one of the things I love about this game is like you can look for advantages. That's kind of your job.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of the load off.
You're the steward of your own stats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am not going to drop. I'm going to try and scramble.
Okay. So you try and scramble. That means between, like, you kind of release the board that you're holding onto. You kind of grab onto another one. It's really awkward, so it takes you a moment to get your footing. And you hear there's a couple of shots that start hitting the facade around you, and I think what we're going to need to do is you are going to need to take action to avoid getting hit, or you're going to get shot. Describe what you do, and then we'll see what move fits.
I think I'm going to try and do my unstoppable move.
Okay, what's that?
Smash your way through scenery to get to or away from something. Roll plus danger. On a hit, the world breaks before you and you get what you want. On 7 to 9, you choose one. Mark a condition, leave something behind, or take something with you. On a miss, smash through, but leave devastation in your wake or wind up somewhere worse. GM's choice.
Okay.
I'm going to give that a shot. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do that. Basically, I'm going to try and get both of us inside this derelict building, get some cover in between us and the cops, and then keep having some forward motion.
Roll plus danger.
Rolling plus danger. All right, double 4s plus the danger of 2 is 10.
That's really good. So the world breaks before you, and you get what you want, which means describe how you get away from these shots that are being fired.
Okay, so I've got basically her over my shoulder, and I'm like hanging on to the boarding of the window, which is starting to like crack in my hand. What I basically do, okay, what I'm gonna do is I basically like
You have the control. Say. I'm like one arm just like
Hell yeah, you are.
But I'm also kind of like flipping my feet up to like kind of use the momentum of my feet to kind of like break through the boarding and get us inside the building.
So is this like you're hanging there and you're doing like a backflip to kick through?
Sure.
Or is it like you one arm yourself up and then you swing it forward to kick through?
Yeah, that.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of you leap, you one arms yourself up to get a better grip higher up. Yeah, and you manage to tumble in. The boards kind of break apart, and you both kind of sprawl into the hallway of an office building. This hallway kind of connects to where the elevators used to be, but those are taped off. There's old tape. One of the doors has been forced open, and you can see like the blackness of the elevator shaft behind it. And then beyond that, you see dim in the distance. There's the symbol for the stairs.
Okay. I put Vixen down, and I put her down gently and I say, sorry about that.
You are kind of in. If we were to do this in like an artsy comic book style, it would just be like Vixen in the light of the lone street lamp that still worked on the street, shining through the broken window. So you see the shadow, the silhouette of these broken boards, and it's looking down on her masked face. What is she thinking right now?
Fight my way to get off of him, and I have these taser gloves that kind of they get a little bit of an electric shock to them, kind of thing. I'm like,
is there a sound or anything? Like you kind of push yourself away?
Yeah, I turn them on and they crackle a little bit, right? But then there's just this hum that kind of emanates from them, and they have these lines on them that kind of glow just a little bit, kind of thing, just like along the back, sort of along the finger line, kind of thing. So you can see. And it lights up my face a little bit from the bottom, so I get a little bit of underglow as well. And I say, don't you ever do anything like that again.
Yes, ma'am. So what do we do now?
You hear that? You can't hear what they're saying.
Keep moving.
I guess Monstrosity, you might be able to hear if you listen carefully, but there's some hubbub and conversation from the police outside, and you hear the crackle of a radio.
We best keep moving.
Okay.
The alleys are barricaded on the back side of these buildings, so let's see if we can make our way out the back and onto the roofs somehow where they can't follow us.
Do it.
Okay, so are you going up?
We're going to go out to sort of a window on the back side of the building and then up again from there.
Okay, so I mean,
or see if there's a stairwell. I mean, that's an easy way, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's do that
there's
first.
a stairwell that would kind of lead you out, kind of the opposite side of the building that you came in from. So I'm imagining like there's a long hallway, and you came in through a window on one end of it, and then there's you pass the elevator shaft, and then there'd be like this other short hallway that leads to this stairwell. That'll lead you
quick before they come inside.
All right, and your object is to try and get out of here without being detected. Is that right?
Yes.
What was your moves there? Straight up
creeping.
5 parkour, no powers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take you some time. So unless you do something unique, you might encounter some police at the bottom.
No, I'm thinking we go up. We find the stairs, we go up to the top.
Yeah, no problem. So you get up there. I mean, there's a door right up at the top that's a steel door, and it's locked tight. What do you do?
I break through.
Yeah. I'm
just about to pull out some gear to try to finesse the lock or something like that, and then I just hear coming through.
Yeah, and you hear clang clang, and there's a shout from some voices down below, but you're up on top of the roof, and you can try to make your way to the alleys there.
We're gonna have to work on our communication skills.
She says from the doorway, like coming through.
As he's like already up the stairs.
Clang clang, and then he's already left. He's already gone out. And that's what she says from the doorway.
Like this.
Are you gonna parkour ninja your way out of here?
You know what? Yeah, just for fun.
So
It's like it's not a straight
I kind of want to
switchback
tie
stairwell.
that knot in here. Unless there's something you want to do in this scene, I want to tie it up, and we'll move on to the next interesting thing.
Cool. Let's do it.
Is there anything either of you want to do?
Apart from get out of there, no, not really.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna when we get to the roof, I just want to like get back to the top and maybe snap a couple of pictures if I can with my stuffs. Get a little bit of intel before we leave the scene.
Pictures of what?
Of like the gas station. Of anything. See if there's anything worth noting that we left behind.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have? Your character kind of has like all this micro tech that's built into her suit, right? So she's got these taser gloves. She's got all these gadgets that she's kind of pulled from various things. It's funny because I was down at the gym not too long ago, and there's this woman, and she had like just like leggings or whatever, and she had her phone kind of like there's like a holster in there. And I was imagining that might be what Vixen's suit is like. There's like little holsters and pockets that are like tight up against the skin so they don't interfere, but that's where she like pulls things from. So it's not like a utility belt, but it's like oh, this is where I keep my taser, and this is where I keep my smoke bomb and all that kind of stuff.
So you guys know Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So he's got all these little just like pieces of plating on his body that are just like sort of like a body armor kind of thing, but like his joints are just his suit, right? So that he's still got a very mobile kind of thing. And that's what I kind of picture. So there'd be some room to like hide some gear inside these little plates or whatever.
So, there's actually like armor plate in some like key spots on her suit then.
Totally. Yeah.
Like carbon fiber kind of that kind of thing. That's pretty. I love it.
Anyway, yeah. Get a little burst.
Okay, roll plus mundane.
Mundane.
You're so mundane.
I'm so mundane.
You are the 8. Mundane. You got an 8. Okay. So you get 1 flow, and I mean.
Go. I will carry it forward.
It sounds like you probably could bypass an obstacle in this situation. The obstacle being like getting from the top of this building to the safety of the alley, kind of a thing. Yeah. But. Yeah, I think as you're going, you do get spotted by the police. They see you, but they're not able to traverse the alley because it is barricaded, like you said. So how is it that you kind of make your way down the building, just so we can get a flavor of it? What do the panels look like?
So I take my couple of shots, and then I turn around and I sort of scope out my way down, and I just sort of break out at a run, and I do a front handspring off of the side little ledge, or the what's the correct word? I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, the side ledge of the building. Just like front handspring, and I leave my little grappling hook just on the side, and front handspring, and then legs bounce off the side edge of the wall, and I'm diving down. And then just put the brake on, rappel down and land like a cat down at the bottom, making less noise than I should.
Well, that was not what you chose. And yeah. But you do manage to successfully get down there, no problem. Monstrosity, how do you decide to get down? What do you decide to do? Are you going with her?
Yeah. She's like getting a grappling hook down, right? I basically just like get onto that and also use that to kind of rappel down.
So you're gonna rappel down using her hook. Now I'm imagining it's like a cable, like it's a metal cable that's holding you up. So because it's pretty thin, it's strong, it's lightweight. Is that what it is, Vixen?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be incredibly difficult and very painful. So you kind of latch onto it, and you're like on your way down there. Do you mark a condition, or are you going to apply a power in this situation?
I guess I'll take a condition, or
Yeah. Let's mark hopeless because we were partway down. You're like, you're about to give up. You're like, this is just ridiculous, right? And on yourself, that was painful. But you managed to get down there, but as you're about like the last story, you hear the clattering of feet, and you see right before you descend out of their eye level, you see a couple of police officers have kind of rounded the bend to the alley, and they see the two of you descending. Hey, they're working together. And one of them gets on a hipside radio and says, "We need an APB on these supers. We've got
APB.
Purple, seems to be male, a male with purple scales. He's 6'8". What were you, like?
6'6".
6 foot, so taller than average, height very large.
So like you.
We have another super, appears to be female, large canine mask, and dark clothing. They are working together. Repeat, they are working together. There you go. But you managed to get to the floor of the alley. And we're just gonna say you kind of make your escape by running off and using your knowledge of Crime Alley and your insane parkour skills. You easily evade detection. What do you do? Oh, yeah. What do you do?
Do you still have that drone? No, I smashed it. Dang. What do we have to go off of? Do we have anything?
I would like to, because I called in LJ overdosing because there was something fishy about the way he, I sensed something fishy about him last time. Presumably that ambulance is taken to the nearest hospital. I'm going to call that St. Andrews.
Good. And before you go, Joe,
yeah.
You're kind of wondering what your next step is, and you see a little notification light. It's like, you know, notifications, right? It just like pops up silent whenever your brother wants to talk to you about something.
Okay.
So he's like, I know you're busy, but there's a little notification light. So he's ready for something. And so I'll resolve this scene with Jeff. I think we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back. All right. So what do you do, Monstrosity?
I make myself. I make my way to the roof of St. Andrews Hospital,
Okay.
And I want to await LJ's arrival and also my ex-wife because I want to get some word on what's going on with him.
Yeah, and I mean, it took you some while to get there. So we'd be kind of like cutting this scene and opening up a while later. So you're up on the roof there, and you're watching the comings and goings from the dark. It is still in the wee hours of the morning. So you're shrouded in dark, and the parking lot below you is bright. So we kind of see you lit from the parking lot lights below. How do you approach this situation?
I'm hanging out on the roof until I hear or smell either LJ or my ex-wife.
Okay, roll to extend your senses by unleashing your powers.
Okay. 10 senses, unleashing powers. Rolling for freak. 5 and 2 plus freak of 3 is 10.
Okay, no problem. And in fact, you see your wife come out. Now, for flavor's sake, is she a smoker?
No.
No. Okay. So you see your wife, and you recognize the familiar scent. And she's come out. She's kind of got a sweater wrapped around her, and she comes out of the emergency entrance. And there's a bench nearby, and she goes and sits down in the bench. They're wrapped up in her sweater.
I guess I haven't really asked if I have my regular long coat and hood disguise with me.
Hey, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that something you wear? I guess I should ask. Is that something you wear all the time, and you just kind of like throw back the hood when you want to be the monster? Or?
Yeah. I mean, like, unless I have a reason to take it off, or then specifically say I'm taking it off. I think I pretty much carry it with me all the time, because I'm never really far from my need to be discreet. So.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I make my way down off of the roof, and I sit on the bench beside
her. She screams, like a small scream. She, "Oh, Dante, you can't do that. What is wrong with you?"
I've made a little internal drinking game, and every time Dante's wife says, "What's wrong with you?" is one of them.
And it's
just kidding. I just made that up right now, but I think that's going to be a thing.
It's kind of hurtful too. It's like we both know we all know what's wrong with you. You turned into a mutant freak.
Oh, gee, Carmela, I wonder what could be wrong with me. Excellent question.
What's wrong with me, Carmela?
So anyway, how do you respond?
I give a little smile and I say, sorry. I don't think either of us will ever really get used to this, will we?
I need to look up your wife for a second here, because that's important. She turns away from you for a moment. She doesn't answer your question right away. She kind of huddles into herself, and then she turns back to you and she says, "I found your friend. They say he's dead. They say he had some kind of crazy robotic enhancement that he had gotten, and that it malfunctioned and he died horribly. I can't do this, Dante. I can't be involved in this craziness that you've decided is your life." need you to find some way to not be involved with people who are dying from robot parts in their body.
Carmela, when this happened to me, I thought I'd be spending the rest of my life hiding in the basement, eating junk food and watching TV until I died.
Well, that's better than getting chased by the police. I saw it on the news, Dante. I saw you involved in the governor. What were you doing? Were you hired to kill this man?
I'm finding a way to matter, Carmela.
And people are like walking in and out of the emergency exit now. It's just like there's somebody in a cast coming out on crutches. Go off to the other side to have a smoke.
They're on oxygen as well, of course. That's a little on the nose here. Sorry.
I'm finding a way to do something good, Carmela. Something important. Some way I can be more than just a freak. Some way I can do some good in the world and make some good out of this thing I've become. And I know
so
it's not
there is dead now because of this good that you're doing. Dante, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, and if something doesn't change, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Do that. I tried to stop that. And I'm still trying to stop it. I don't know if there are more people out there like that, and if I can make a difference, I have to.
Well, Dante, it's not any of your business. This isn't... You don't have to go around being Mr. Superhero. You don't have to go around beating up criminals. You don't have to go around endangering your life. And
You're right. I'll just go get an average Joe job at 7-Eleven. That sounds like a great fit for me, Carmela. Look at me. Normal life isn't an option anymore.
And I'm telling you, Dante, that this criminal life that you're living, it's not an option either. If you're going to live in that same house as me.
I know it's not fair of me to ask you to be a part of it. I've already asked too much, and I'm sorry. Did they say anything else about what happened? What was decided?
They asked me a lot of questions. So I told them who I was, where I lived. They asked me how I knew this person. And I told them that he was a friend. That I just met him before and I was worried about him. They didn't say this to me, but as they were leaving, the doctors were saying that whatever robotic parts were in him, whoever had done it had done a very poor job. It's almost like they didn't care to see him live. And she's choked up now. She's not crying loudly, but there are tears coming down her face.
I would like to tenderly touch her shoulder and tell her I know this is hard.
I don't think she's ready for you to touch her shoulder, so she kind of shrugs.
I kind of anticipated that, but I take my try anyway. I guess when I try, she pulls away, and I respect that. I don't try again. I say I'm going to try and make this right for him. I'm going to try and make sure that he gets justice.
And she turns back, and of course she's very cracked, so it's not, her mascara is running, and it's not it's not a pretty sight right now. But she says, "I meant what I said, Dante. You find a way out of this, or you need to find a different place to live." And then she gets up and she heads straight to her vehicle.
I let her go.
And scene. Whew.